Okay, I'm not sure this video is going to make sense unless you know how to play Iron Cross, but I finished the first turn. First of all, the board is way cleaner. I just make a little stack here of the chits. You still have the morale markers. Still not a huge fan of morale markers, but I'm like, okay, we can go with it. So what I'm doing is, all right, so I'm activating one counter, activates this platoon of tanks. They can spread out. These guys have to be within an inch. We'll say an inch for now because it's a small board. Maybe you could say 3 inches. You could do, I think Flames of War had that 1, 2, and 3, depending on their class or whatever. This guy's his own unit, so he activates his own. The commanders are basically providing activations. You could say, well, one, if you lose a unit, you're going to lose the commander. That can be one way of playing it just like that. Or you could do what some games say, and as soon as one of these units gets their morale, I suppose you could roll and see if the commander goes instead. So they would take that extra hit. That's a possibility. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. So that's how I'm activating. If I halfway through the turn, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. I was initially firing, like when I activated this squad to fire, I just fired with 1d10 or 2d10, depending on the range. I'm like, wait a minute, that's taking away the fire capability of the units. Oh, now, okay, this is funny. Now that I'm sitting here, this is why you just can't tweak games. Okay, well, here's my thing. Here was my thinking on that. I was like, well, they're only throwing 2d10, which is the equivalent of 1. So normally during a turn, assuming everyone gets activated and all that, you would be able to fire 6d10 if you were within 12 inches. I'm like, man, I'm taking that down to 2d10 instead of 6. That's a big difference. Plus the d6s you roll for extra hits. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Gosh, with the morale, that's so few hits. This game, you're not going to be able to do much damage to anybody. Okay, because I was thinking of all the stands. So then I was like, wait a minute. Maybe they should all roll for the number of stands you have. So then that would you would get that power decrease as they start to get whittled down. And then you would apply. So if they applied it, every time they shot, then you apply the morale hits. So then, and everyone's got to take an even number. So let's say this guy rolls and he gets 1 morale hit. Okay, well, you just give it to one of the guys. Okay, so he's got it. Then he fires and he gets 2. Well, then you give 1, 2, or 1, 2. Or if this guy just did 1, you'd give it to that guy. I know this probably isn't making sense, but basically you just balance it out. So then I was like, well, because since you're firing each one, this guy here will impact his shooting and his reacting. So so the whole platoon reacts, so you take the worst one. But now I'm sitting here thinking, well, wait a minute, hold on here. Yeah, but then a little bit of a problem with that is that they're going to keep getting up there. So, I mean, no one's ever going to have, he's not going to have 5 and he's going to have 1 or 0. That's just not going to be the case. Although I suppose you could do it that way, but then the platoon itself would have a 5. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do it that way because you'd want the highest one to be a 3 morale, because that morale impacts your shooting. And once you get up to 3, so you usually hit on 5s, you react on a 3 on a die. So a 3 morale, you're only going to react on 6s. A 3 hitting, you're hitting on 8s on a d10, plus any other modifiers, like all these infantry are in cover and stuff, or obscured. They're obscured. Yeah, this is interesting. It's interesting tweaking with rules like this, and I know this drives some of us crazy doing this, but I just wasn't enjoying it. And I can't find a company level game that I'm liking. So, but I kind of like it. I definitely like the cleaner board. The shooting seemed okay, but it does seem kind of wonky with, oh, and then when I roll a rally roll, I roll a rally roll for each stand in there. And I just roll 2. So like in this case, these 2 have hits. I roll 2 dice. And like on this one, I rolled a 1 and a 1 and a 3. Well, one of the morale points come off, and you choose which one you want to take it off, so I took it off. The second roll, because I rallied twice again, I got 2 6s, so they all came off, both of them. Because you roll the rally and then you decide which unit you're gonna rally it off of. Yeah, the tanks are still living here in this anti-tank gun shot and didn't do jack. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this. These guys got hit, and these 2 rallied. He did not. Like I said, they rallied all their hits. That was really good, but then I failed to bring these guys on. Oh, okay. So the commanders normally, did I already say this? Or was I just thinking? The commanders normally impact if they're within a certain 6 inches in this, because it's a small board. They can help overcome, you can re-roll a failed activation or reaction roll. Well, in this one, we're not doing activation rolls. So when I put these, I don't know what units these have been played on, so there's no penalty for reaction. Like, I could have activated this guy to go all the way around the board and do stuff, and no one else did. That doesn't seem like a very smart move, kind of strategically, but you could, if you want to have a runaway guy, see what happens. Anyway, usually what you do is you put a counter on that, and if he's been activated twice, you have to activate him a 3rd time, you have to roll a 3 or more. Here, I'm not doing that. Now, the morale markers still impact whether or not you can react. So these guys have a 1. So if they want to react, it's going to take a 4+, not a 3+. Is that right? Yeah, because it's usually a 3+. That makes it, well, you have to get a 4+, 5+, 6+. Because again, the reaction roll is not impacting that. I mean, yeah, the number of activations aren't impacting the reaction. So then that kind of hurts the commanders. They can only help with reactions. Well, I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if they could also, maybe instead they help with rallies? So maybe they help you roll 1 failed rally roll it's per game or per turn? Per turn, I think is what it is. Yeah, it's per turn. So these commanders could only impact this guy. This company commander can impact anybody within, we'll say, 6 inches, just because it's a small table. And this guy could also, maybe this guy can only impact the tanks. This guy can only, well, yeah, this guy can only impact the tanks, we'll say, and this guy can impact he can impact everybody. Maybe not him, because he's a company commander as well. And this guy's out of luck, but he can't take any hits anyway. That's a pretty powerful thing. This was in the fireball forward thing, and Iron Cross, that's pretty powerful. Because I was making it so these guys could even react to it. You know what? Let's say I'm not quite clear on the reaction. Whoever's doing the thing must, so if these tanks firing, oh, that's another thing I didn't do right. I was just activating one. I kept activating 1 tank. I needed to activate, and all 3 tanks get to go. Is that what I was going to do? Yeah, that's what I was going to do, because they are a platoon. They are a squad or whatever, squadron or whatever. Boy, this has been an 8-minute video on this. It's just something I'm trying. I do have to have a few things written down here to remember. But I liked the feel of it a little bit more. It felt a little bit more like they were cohesive units going and doing stuff, as opposed to just one at a time going. Kind of got, yeah, I was kind of wiring on that. The morale thing is something, I love it for, so what I like about Flames of War is there's 2 or 3 states that they're in. This has got, basically, I guess it's just got 2 states, fresh or not fresh or dead. So it's got 3 states as well. It's just you got to add the morale markers, and it's just another, I mean, I guess if I had a suppress marker on the board, that would be on the board too. But I don't know, just keeping track of it. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of a, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Turn 1, I enjoyed turn 1 more here than I did turn 1 in the first one. So, and as I see the length of this video, I am not going to even post the first turn of that other one. So I guess I should say that basically these guys, the Germans have to take 1 building. This is the Bridget Lafair. Got it from the Fireball Forward main rule book. All right, well, we'll see what happens after next turn.